Yesterday, I went to a furry event with my boyfriend, and I think I got the ick. I feel so bad. He told me he was a furry about a year ago. We were unpacking boxes in our new apartment, the first place we'd ever shared together, and I pulled open a wardrobe bag, and there it was. A full foam head, painted blue, with pointed ears and a little white snout. I genuinely thought he had worked at a theme park at some point and forgot to mention it. Then I found the tail, and the paws, and a whole folder of digital art on his desktop of a blue fox character with his same eye color. He came in from the kitchen and saw my face and went completely white. He sat me down and explained everything. The fursona, the name, the community. How he'd had this hobby since he was 17. How he almost told me on our third date but chickened out. How he'd been carrying this secret for 3 years because he was terrified I'd leave. I told him I loved him. I told him it was his thing, not mine, and that was fine. I meant every word. I wasn't performing. I genuinely did not think it would affect anything between us. He kept that part of his life pretty separate after that. The suit stayed in the closet. He never pushed me. Occasionally, he'd mention a convention or show me a piece of art his online friends made of his character, and I'd look at it and say something supportive and move on. It was easy. It felt like supporting him without ever really having to see it. So when he asked me to come to an actual event, I said yes. He was nervous when he asked. He kept starting and stopping the sentence. When I said yes, his whole body relaxed, like he'd been holding his breath for a week. That alone made me glad I agreed. The drive there was completely normal. We got coffee. We talked about what we wanted for dinner later. He had the suit bag in the back seat, but I wasn't really thinking about it. It was just a bag. Then he pulled over about 3 blocks from the venue. Walgreens parking lot, Sunday morning, almost empty. He got out, opened the back door, and started pulling pieces out one by one. The legs, the body, the gloves, the head last. I stood on the curb holding his iced coffee and his car keys and watched my boyfriend of 4 years disappear and get replaced by a 6-foot blue fox. He turned to face me and did a little bow. I laughed. I think it was a real laugh. I'm not totally sure. We walked through downtown together. It was maybe a 10-minute walk. He couldn't see great through the mask, so I kept telling him when there were curbs or cracks in the sidewalk. People stared. A group of teenagers stopped and one of them filmed us on his phone. A woman walking a dog yanked her dog to the other side of the street. Someone in a car honked and yelled something out the window. He couldn't hear any of it through the foam head. I heard every single word. When we got to the venue, his friends spotted him immediately and basically sprinted over. They called him by his character name, and he made this sound, like a happy little bark, and they all lost their minds over it. They hugged him. They asked about his suit upgrades. They were so genuinely happy to see him. And I stood there smiling, shaking hands, saying hi, being completely normal, while feeling like I was watching someone I had never met before in my life. The event itself was a mixed crowd. Some people in full suits like him, some with just ears or a tail clipped to their jeans, some with no costume at all, just badges with their character names on them. Everyone was friendly. Nobody was weird to me. One girl with a wolf tail brought me a bottle of water without me even asking because she noticed I looked warm. But there was a moment, maybe an hour in, where a group of them started doing a choreographed dance they'd clearly practiced. My boyfriend was in the middle of it. Full suit, moving completely in sync with the others. Someone was filming for TikTok. He was totally in it, completely unself-conscious, doing this little spin move and then dropping into a crouch on all fours. I watched his face in my memory and realized I couldn't actually see his face. I hadn't been able to see his face for 2 hours. I was standing in a room with my boyfriend and I had no idea what expression he was making. After the dance, he found me in the crowd and came over and asked me to pet his head. I did it. I scratched behind one of his foam ears while his friends watched and cheered. He texted me a photo of that exact moment this morning. 3 heart emojis. Caption said he can't wait to bring me to the next one. I've been staring at the photo for 20 minutes. There I am, smiling, hand on his head, and I look completely fine. I look supportive. I look like the girlfriend he thinks he has. I don't know how to tell him that the person in that photo doesn't exist anymore.